Okay, so good day, everyone. So today we'll be discussing calculator techniques using the calc and the substitution functions. So our calculator has a calc button that can be seen here. Okay, so this is our calc button. So we will use that to solve some problems that involves with multiple choices. So let's try it with our first problem. In this type of problem, we will use calc technique to determine the choices by trial and error. Okay, so first, we have our problem here. Determine the value of x from 1 over 3x minus 2 plus 8 over 3x minus 2 is equal to 9. So the usual way that we can solve this problem is we are using shift solve. Okay? But since sometimes using shift solve takes a lot of process, okay, or time rather, so we will use calc technique. So how can we use your calc technique here? So first, what do we need to do is we must input first the left side of the equation on our calculator. Take note that if we are using calc technique, okay, we are not inputting the equal sign because we are checking if both the sides of the equation are the same or similar. Okay, so after that, after inputting our left side of the equation, so what do we need to do is we will try the choices. We press first calc, okay, then as you can see, x ask us what value do we need. So we will use the choices for that. Okay, let's try letter A, that is 3. Okay, we input 3. Okay, so take note that if we use this technique, it means we are checking if the left side of the equation is equal to the right side. So the goal is to get a value of 9. If the value of 9, after using calc on the choices, or if the value of the function or the equation is equal to 9, then that is our answer. Okay, so we try with the first letter of the choice. We try 3, press equals. Okay, so this answer is not equal to 9. Then you press calc again. Okay, press 2. Okay, so that is not equal to 9. Calc, then we try 1. Okay, so that is equal to 9 for checking all the way to choice D. Let's try 4. Okay, so that is not equal to 9. So it means the only choice or the only letter that corresponds to the answer 9 is letter C, which is 1. So it means letter C is our correct answer. Okay, so again, what do we need to do is we input the left side of this equation, then use calc to check if the values are equal to 9. Okay. Next, same function. We will use the calc function, but this time by substitution. Okay, so we have here, simplify. You have x squared, y cubed, z raised to negative 2, all over raised to negative 3. Then we have x raised to negative 3, y multiplied to z raised to 3, raised to negative 1 half, all over x, y, z raised to negative 3, raised to negative 5 halves. So with that, we will input the whole equation in our calculator. So take note. Okay. First, we input x squared, then multiplied to y cubed. Take note that there is no z in the letters, so we can use any letter to substitute z. We can use c rather, raised to negative 2. raised to negative 3 multiplied to x raised to negative 3 multiplied to y multiplied to c raised to 3 raised to negative 1/2. Then overall, x multiplied to y multiplied to c raised to negative 3 all over raised to negative 5/2. Okay, then at this time, we will use calc function. So press calc. Okay. So it means what we are doing here is we are substituting the values of our variables in the equation. So my tip here is when we are substituting variables, it is advisable that we use a number to substitute with a decimal. So let's try for our x. Let's use 1.2. For y, let us use 2.3. And for z, let us use 3.4. So in the calculator, it asks us the value of x, so we write 1.2. Y, we write 2.3. And for c, we write 3.4. Then after that, after pressing equals, you take note of this value. So that is 5.189 times 10 raised to negative 5. So you take note. No? That is 5.189 times 10 raised to negative 5. So take note of this value because we will use that later to check for the choices. Okay, so how about for the choices? So for the choices, we use trial and error to determine the right answer. So first, for letter A, let us input the answer 1 over x squared multiplied to y raised to 7 multiplied to c raised to 5. Then you press calc. Okay, so since we have already stored the values for x, y, and z, so there is no need to store again those values. We just press equals. Okay. But you check for those values. For x, we have 1.2, y, we have 2.3, and c, we have 3.4. Press equals. Okay. So the answer for A is 4.489, which is different from our answer in the given. So that is not the correct answer. So A is not the correct answer. Okay, so what we need to do is we just change the values of the exponent for B. That is x squared, y raised to 7, and c raised to 3. Then you press calc, equals, equals, equals. Okay, so since that letter B has the same value after pressing calc with our given, which is 5.189 times 10 raised to negative 5, so it means letter B is the correct answer. Okay, so that is how we solve using the substitution technique. So let's try other problems. Okay, simplify the following equation. So simplify, it means you will use these LCD here. You will multiply the numerators and so on. But we will just use our calculator to solve this type of problem. So first we input the given equation, that is 5x, 2x squared, plus 7x, plus 3, then minus. You have x plus 3, then you have 2x squared minus 3x minus 2, then plus. You have 2x plus 1, then you have x squared plus x minus 6. Then you press calc. So again, we substitute a value that has a decimal place. So let's use 1.2 for x. So there are only one variable in this type of equation. So when we press equals, that is 20 over 21. So you take note of this value, the 20 over 21. So now we will use the choices to find the correct answer. Okay. So first, for choice A, is 4 over x plus 3. Okay, let's use Calc. Okay, 1.2. Okay. So it means the correct answer is letter A. Okay, if you don't mind, we will just check the rest of the choices here. Let's try 2 over x minus 3, then press Calc. Okay, that is not equal to 20 over 21. Then we try 4 over x minus 3, then press Calc. Okay, that is not equal. No? Then we have 2 over x plus 3. Okay, we press Calc. Okay, that is not equal. So the correct answer is letter A. Okay, let's try other problems. No? We have here substitution technique also, resolve into partial fractions. So this is different from the previous given. No? The previous given, okay, you will simplify it. For this time, you will resolve it into partial fractions. Okay, so with that, let's again use our calculator technique. X plus 2 over x squared minus 7x plus 12. Then press calc, that is 1.2, press equals. So take note of this value, 40 over 63. Okay, then we will use the choices to check the correct answer. So let's try letter A, that is 6 over x minus 4. Okay, minus 2 over x minus 3. So press calc, that is already 1.2. Okay, that is not the answer because it is not equal to 40 over 63. Let's try letter B, that is 3 over x minus 4 minus 5 over x minus 3. Press calc. Okay, that is not the correct answer. Let's try letter C, 6 over x minus 4 minus 5 over x minus 3. Okay, so since it is equal to the value that we have earlier, so it means letter C is the correct answer. And our last example, okay, substitution technique also. Evaluate y is equal to, okay, so now our variable is in the exponent, so no worries. Okay, we'll just use the same technique, 5 raised to 2x plus 1. We have minus 10 multiplied to 5 raised to 2x minus 1 divided by 2 times 5 raised to 2 raised to 2 multiplied to x. Then press calc. So again, 1.2. Take note of the value. That is 9 by using a value of x as 1.2. Then we check on the choices. So let's try letter A. It is 5 raised to x. Calc. Okay, that is not 9. Oh, I think we already have the answer. This letter B. Let's just try letter C. Okay, so since we already have an answer for this, which is letter B, is just equal to 9. So that is how you use your calc or substitution technique.